Ever since I was little, I have been obsessed with birds. I used to beg my parents for them day in, day out. I would watch YouTube videos, look at articles, learn anything I could just to know about birds. And eventually this paid off and I got my first bird. That was 6 years ago. And since then, I've had a lot of other birds and have gotten to learn more about them. Today I want to share my knowledge about birds with you and kind of get you to get a feel of how it would be to get your first bird. In today's speech, I will discuss topics such as the different types of conures, some general care for them, and how to do training. Now that I've introduced you to my overall topic, I would like to talk about the different types of conures. According to the article Conure Parrot Species Info from allpetsbirds.com, the conure species consist of more than 40 different types and they all have their own unique characteristics. Now there are two main genuses for the conure species, the Arenta and the Pyrrha. The Pyrrha includes smaller parrot species such as the green-cheeked conure, black-cape conure, and the crimson-bellied conure. These birds are most commonly known for their cuddly personalities and their loud personalities as well. The Arentina include larger species such as the sun conure, Jende conure, and the dusky conure. Now one of the most common pet birds you'll find is the green-cheeked conure. This is due to their small size, cuddly personality, and their variations in colors. Their variations in colors are due to mutations in their genes, and there's over 30 different mutations that they can have. Now, while these birds are affectionate and cuddly, they are also very prone to biting, and can be often known as one-person birds. One-person birds are birds that like one person more than the rest, and they don't really like other people. I had a bird like this. His name was Tango, and through a lot of training, they can get more comfortable with other people, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Now these birds are known for having larger personalities like bigger parrots, but just smaller, which makes them more common in households. They're also extremely loud. And while the green-cheeked conure is the quietest of the conure species, conures themselves are very loud. The conures in the Arentina genus are extremely loud. And some common pets from that genus are the sun conure, Jende conure, and dusky conure. These birds are most commonly known for their loud noise, playful personalities, and in some cases, the ability to talk. These birds can often learn how to say short phrases or short words. I had a few birds that could learn how to say their names, they learned how to say phrases, and due to their excellent vocal ranges, they can also mimic different sounds very well. Now that I've discussed the different types of conures, I would like to discuss some general care for them. The first thing to consider when getting a conure is getting the right size cage that's big enough for them. According to the article Conures by Hagen Agricultural Research Institute, the general rule of thumb when buying a bird cage is to buy the largest cage you can afford. For small birds, they need at least a cage that's 24 by 24 by 30 inches. For larger birds, they need at least 30 by 30 by 36 inches. It's also important to consider the type of room you keep them in. You need a room that has good ventilation, good sunlight, and it needs to be kept at a temperature between 75 and 80 degrees, as that's the temperature that conures are most comfortable in, and if it's not, they can get sick. When keeping them at night, they also need to be in a quiet and dark room, so that way they can have a good sleep cycle, which can also lead to illness if it's interrupted. If you can't get them in a quiet room at night, keeping a blanket on top of their cage and lowering the noise level will replicate being asleep during the night. Conures also need a lot of toys, and there's many different toys to choose from, such as enrichment, foraging, and those toys can be made out of materials such as leather, cardboard, wood, or plastic. Personally, I like to make my own toys because it allows me to bond with my bird, and it's a lot cheaper than buying them at the store. You also need to get them multiple perches. The perches can be natural perches, dowel perches, and at least one flat perch to replicate the different types of sticks that they would be on in the wild. They also have a very specific diet of seeds and chopped veggies that's also called parrot chop. That's the seed you can get from your local pet store. It's about $25 for a bag. And if you can't get parrot chop, you can always get frozen veggies from your local grocery store. That will also work just as well. They also need to be kept in the sun because they need to keep their vitamin D level stable. but it is very important that you don't let them outside by themselves, as that can be very dangerous for conures. I would recommend taking them outside when you can supervise them and keeping them either in their normal cage or in a travel cage. You can also take them on short walks in a travel cage or in a harness if they're comfortable with it. Now, socializing them is also extremely important, as birds are also social creatures. Some common ways of socializing them are just having them out with you throughout the day when you're doing stuff around your house, or through training exercises. Conures are very smart and intelligent and are easy to train. According to the article Conures by Hagen Agricultural Research Institute, consistent positive behavior training sessions can be very effective with most conures. Training is important for building trust and for socializing your bird. One of the best ways to start out training is by teaching simple commands such as step up or step down, which can help them get comfortable with your finger and be better for when you're doing stuff like pet visits. Another common starting point is to do touch target, which is where you have them touch the end of a stick and then you reward them with a little treat. Now, once you have mastered those, you can move on to more advanced techniques such as spin, high five, wave, which you can also find YouTube videos on online that will go into more depth about how to do those. Now, before I end my speech, I would like to just do a recap of what we've discussed. So far, we have discussed the different types of conures, some general care for conures, and just how to do training overall. And I hope that you learned something today, because I am very happy teaching you about it. This is something that I've dedicated 6 years of my life to learning, and so getting to share it with you today is very special to me. But I hope, before you do, if you plan on getting your own bird, that you do your own research first, as it's very important to do your own research when getting a bird. Thank you so much for listening.